odds are you've had a few $1 million movie ideas. The trick is knowing which one is actually the most valuable and that you should create. This used to be a decision left up to studios and gatekeepers in Hollywood. You'd write a script, have a concept, maybe show them a deck or a proof of concept reel. And from there, the goal was to convince someone else that your show was worth funding. The thing is, we're no longer in a world where the gatekeepers hold all of the power. Instead, we're moving into a world where storytellers like you rule the world. What this means is that you don't need a gatekeeper's permission to make a film anymore. What this also means is that it's your responsibility to understand if a film is going to actually meet an intended audience's desires and actually be something that you can market and make money from. Let me first just throw in a disclaimer. The way that gatekeepers are being removed in the filmmaking industry is with AI. And look, I get it, AI can be controversial technology. I give you full permission that if you hate AI and absolutely do not think it's going to play a role in the future of filmmaking, to stop watching this video. I get it. The thing is, though, what I'm about to share with you is going to teach you something whether or not you use AI in your filmmaking process. The truth is just AI makes this whole concept of spotting and discovering $1 million plus movie ideas so much more powerful. And I'll be honest with you, I think AI is actually a beautiful thing in the filmmaking process. Not because it's going to steal jobs, not because it's going to destroy Hollywood. It won't. Instead, it's creating a new industry, a new world, one that we call Creatorwood. And at Creatorwood, what we do is we help storytellers like you, whether you just have an idea, a story, a book, a script, turn it into a movie or show with AI over 1,000 times cheaper and faster than traditional filmmaking methods. This isn't about creating the next Marvel. It's about building your own mini Disney. And what that looks like is going to vary. But the truth is that now thousands and thousands of new stories and genres that would have been unprofitable and very difficult to create with traditional filmmaking techniques would cost tens of millions of dollars, be very, very hard to make happen. You can now make from your bedroom or from your couch and your underwear for just a couple $1,000s as a one-person studio. That is remarkable. And it's completely changing filmmaking. But with that comes the thing, the big question: what films are actually worth creating? And the big truth here is the film that really is worth creating is the one that's closest to your heart, right? The one that you are passionate about, the one that lights you up. You should go tell that story. I want you to, but I also want you to go in with both eyes wide open, because if it were just that easy, just to make a film, take your story idea with AI and share it with the whole world, and that was just like that, just so easy, then, well, I would be lying to you. Because the truth is that even with AI, creating great films that viewers will love and actually pay for is challenging. Now, if you're not worried about making money from your film, you're purely trying to invest in creating your film because you just want to see it brought to life, and you've got your story to tell, and there's no compromising your creative vision, then look, I get it. You should go do that. And this video about whether a movie idea is going to be $1 million or not is probably not for you. Why'd you even click on this? Because at the end of the day, who cares if it's $1 million movie idea or not, if it's the movie you need to create? You just got to get that idea out to the world. But if you're like me, you also like the idea of making money from what you create, not just to get endless riches, but because two things have been very important to me. I want viewers to actually experience my stories. I love them a lot, but I love it even more when other people experience it. And two is, I want to be able to create stories I love full time. I don't want to have to work a day job. I don't want to have to, go and worry about what if I wanted to travel here, or what if I wanted to do this. I wanted to be able to live the life I love and ultimately give back to my mom, my mom's a single mom. She raised me and my brother growing up, and I'd love to be able to retire her. So that's why I would love to make a movie that's $1 million. And no, I haven't made it $1 million movie, but I'll tell you what I have done and why I've learned what I'm about to share with you, because it's a pretty dangerous secret that I'm about to share. So what I have learned throughout the process of publishing 12 sci-fi novels, selling thousands of copies of my books, going on to then go work for Mr. Beast, where I worked in his strategy team and was behind the data that we use to make his videos become the most viral in the world, viewed by hundreds of millions of people, every single video. And I've also helped authors make millions of dollars a year in memberships at my last software company. All this to say that I've seen a few things about how creators reach audiences and build businesses doing what they love. And these principles don't change even in the world of AI filmmaking, because what it's about at the end of the day is storytelling, and what it's about at the end of the day is serving viewers. So let me give you my 3-step playbook to doing just that. Here it is. Step number 1 is reflect on what stories light you up, where you have storyteller market fit, as I like to frame it. What this means is that right now you may have seen a boom going on in vertical, where vertical films, particular billionaire romances and things of this nature, are doing really well. And you might be like, oh my God, I should go write a billionaire romance film and make a 90-minute vertical. I mean, yeah, you absolutely can. But is that what you really want to do? Is that what you love? Is that what you have unique insight into? Ultimately, creating stories is about connecting with humans. And you are going to be able to connect with the humans that you vibe with, the humans that you have a unique insight into understanding their lives, their problems, their struggles, their dreams, their desires, their hopes. And sometimes you're a better fit to tell certain stories than others. And it's not even just you being best fit, but ultimately, what are you excited about? You're going to spend a lot of time making your movie. Yeah, sure, AI makes it cheaper, makes it simpler, it makes it faster to make movies. But you're still going to be spending hundreds, if not thousands of hours in your story world. Don't you want to make it fun? Because if this is just a job and just a way to make money, I can guarantee you there's easier ways to make a living than this, much easier ways. So ultimately, this has to be about your passion first. So what are you passionate about? What stories light you up and that you would be really excited to create something similar to? That's where you should start. But we don't end there, right? Because there's a little bit more to the equation. What we also want to understand is, what do viewers want? And this is the other side of the coin. That's really important to understand, because the real answer is you might not know what viewers want. And the truth is no one actually knows. But I could point you to some directions that will help you understand if you're on the right path. So first of all, is what we want to look for is a story gap. A story gap is an unmet viewer desire. Essentially, it's something that we know that viewers want or hope they want, but there hasn't been a similar story created yet, or many similar stories. So there's actually demand, but little supply for this type of content. Let's list some examples of story gaps. One would be, if you look at the Kindle best-selling chart and look at books that are doing well, there might be lots of fiction stories in, let's say, a particular genre of romance, maybe romantasy, or maybe military sci-fi. And there might not be many movies that are accompanying that genre, that are similar or inside of that genre. That's a great opportunity for you to create a film there. And why? It's simple. It's so simple. Ultimately, you have a content format, ebooks, that people are paying attention to, that people are watching. But what you don't have is a movie to accompany this format. And we know that folks don't just consume stories in one format. They'll read books, they'll read comics, they'll listen to audiobooks, and they'll also watch movies. And think about all the different genres of books where there's not many movies in that genre. Now, it's not always all things created equal here. Some genres may lean heavier with the readership. Some genres, like action and thriller, disproportionately, have had an even larger viewership than a readership. So it does depend on the genre here, but in general, where you've seen in the past filmmaking grow is writing off other media formats, understanding, okay, what is other forms of storytelling doing that we can learn from? And this is why 40% of Hollywood IP is book to screen adaptations. So much starts in the world of books. So you should be looking at the world of books to understand what could sell in this new world of film, especially now that AI filmmaking is making so much more genres cheap and easy to produce. Because one misnomer about AI is that it's more expensive to produce more complicated films. You pay per minute or second of generated film. No matter how many special effects or characters in a film, it doesn't actually affect the end cost of your film. Now, complex action sequences at this time of recording can be a little difficult to nail down, but the truth is that it can still do it pretty well, and there's ways to adapt these scenes to work with the current technical limitations of AI. And in time, we're talking just a couple months, a lot of these limitations are going to be lifted. Even over the last couple months, as I've been working on Creatorwood and we've been building the platform, we've seen the tech move so fast and get better so quickly. So with all that said, let's now discuss the next part. You understand a little bit about story gaps. You know that you can go to the Kindle store to find story gaps. You can go to social media and see what's working on social media that might not have an accompanying long form story around it. You can look at trends like whether it's run clubs or whether it's data from what's performing on vertical apps or even streamers to understand where there could be an opportunity to make a story. But it goes deeper than that. Because now what we need to understand is, okay, I got to build a story concept, right? And what's really hard about building a story concept is it's like, well, where do we start? Do we write the story? Do we write the script using maybe Creatorwood's AI screenwriting software? Do we make the full-length film and see what happens? The truth is we want to start with something a little bit more foundational. We want to start with what the description of our story is. And with that description, we want to be able to create a teaser of that film, which Creatorwood literally has a teaser and trailer feature where you can create short teasers and trailers rather than a full-length film, or you could just create the first episode of your film. What this is called is a pilot. We basically want to create a pilot. Now, why would we want to create a pilot rather than a full-length film? Well, the truth is you could spend 1,000 hours making a story. And by the end of those 1,000 hours, you'll learn one of three things. Either there wasn't an audience to begin with for your film. It was going to be hard to actually market it and get traffic. If you're looking for more insights on how to get traffic to your film and actually market your films, check out our viewer growth engine video. I'll link to it somewhere down below or here. Next is, if you can get traffic to it, the next thing you'll learn is maybe you had trouble getting people to actually buy and convert and actually watch your film. And that's a big one, right? You might have trouble doing that. The next thing you'll learn is that you might not get people to the retention point of your film. The retention point of your film is roughly 10% of the way into the film, and it's the moment of the film that when people get to, you're golden. They're very unlikely to stop watching, right? We all know it. You get into a TV series, and once you watch a few episodes, you're gonna crush all 10 seasons. That is the point that we wanna get viewers to, because once we get them there, we can create all of the rest of the content. We can create seasons of content, know that we have something valuable. Now, the trick is actually answering those three questions. And most of the time we think, well, we have to make the full season. We have to write the full season to achieve these three questions. But you don't. A pilot is designed to help you answer these three questions with as little time, effort, and money as possible. And ultimately, what you'll learn here is that once you answer these three questions, you can bundle any story with some pretty rough caveats, but you can get very creative after the retention point, after you get people in and telling the theme and the story you want, right? Like, this isn't about saying, oh, don't write the story you love. No, instead it's saying, how can we create the part of your story that's most marketable in a way that we know audiences will resonate with so that you can get them to stick around and get to the rest? Think of it like healthy food. No one wants to eat, like, let's say some boring, tasteless protein shake that is gonna be super healthy, but it literally tastes like cardboard. No one wants that. But what people do want is something that tastes like chocolate. But once you get through that chocolate taste, there's a lot of healthy stuff inside. That's what your story can be. You get through that first 10%, you get them to the retention point, you hook them, and then they're gonna be there for your story. But you don't need to make the whole story to understand if you need to hook them or not. Because this is the most important skill to learn as an AI filmmaker, how to actually hook people into your worlds. And it's tough because if you're spending most of your time on everything after the retention point, all the film after that moment, you're gonna be getting really good a lot of things that aren't going to drive momentum in your career. And ultimately what you want to do is take the steps forward that are going to give you momentum so you can build audience, so you can get revenue, so you can get funding, and you can actually move forward. And the people who learn the fastest are going to be the people who take the right steps to answer these questions in an efficient manner, both cost and time. So what that's going to look like for you is building pilots. So if you want more help on the pilot process, I'm going to link down below the Creatorwood Bootcamp. It's the entire pilot process, really, really fun. And it's a free email course, really just 5 days. You'll learn all about it. So I hope to see you inside there. And again, there's just so much info in there. I really hope you'll enjoy it. So step 3 is after you have your pilot, you've created the first 10% of your film-ish. Maybe it's one episode, maybe it's the first 10 minutes, maybe it's just a trailer, and you have a description of your story that can hopefully entice people. Once you get to this point, now the real fun starts. And this is really step 3 in the $1 million movie idea process, which is sharing it with the world. I touched on it briefly, but there's 3 ways you can really share a film with the world, and they're the 3 viewer growth engines. The 3 of them are paid ads, so you can use Meta, which encompasses TikTok and Facebook, but you can also use TikTok ads, etc. You can use organic social media, which is when you post for free on social media, usually short form videos. Could also be on TikTok, other ad platforms. And then lastly is collaborations. When you get creators, maybe a creator that you feature in your film, you can take the AI likeness of someone and put their voice or image in your film. Maybe and it's just someone you want to collaborate with and you're friends with, and they can share it on their social media. These are the 3 growth engines. Why I talk about growth engines is because oftentimes we think that like we had our family and friends see it, therefore we're good to go. They liked it, we're ready, our pilot was successful. The truth is that what you want is to validate a scalable way to reach viewers, which there's 3, these viewer growth engines: collaborations, content, or paid ads. You want to validate that through one of these viewer growth engines, you can actually get viewers who like your film. Because then what you know, because it's a scalable way to market yourself, that you can find a lot more viewers like that. And if you know you can find a lot more viewers like that who are then going to like and pay for your films, you know that by investing more in your film, you have a much greater chance of making your money back. Now, here's the key to all this. I can't guarantee that you'll have $1 million movie idea until you actually make $1 million in your movie. That sounds self-explanatory, but it's really important, right? There's no guarantees here, but what there is a probability of success. And traditionally, the probability of success in any film, in any story, is very, very low. Most films don't pay back. In the book industry, 90% of books don't break even, 10% get close, but it's really that remaining under 1% that actually make the lion's share of the money. What our goal here is to make it so that your odds of success are much greater than 1% when you actually launch your full-length film and get your full story out there. It's much higher. And for some of you, that success rate may get close to 100% in some of your series. You might really nail it. But no one's successful always, right? This is a game of probabilities, this is a game of risk here, but I want you to take as little risk as possible and decrease your risk as much as possible along the way. And that's what this process is about. So use one of these 3 viewer growth engines. I could go in detail about how these viewer growth engines operate, but in reality, I created a free video all about it, a primer that will be linked to down below. And if you want more, like a full masterclass from me on actually how to do this, I have a course called the 6-Figure Film Accelerator. It teaches you all about how to build a business making movies. It shows the AI, specifically how you can market your films, how to price them, how to find viewers, how to build great story ideas. It's just $500. And it's literally like a masterclass, an MBA in filmmaking with everything I've learned at Mr. Beast, everything I've learned writing my own books, helping authors make money in storytelling. And this course is designed to teach you how to market your films to make money storytelling. I think you'll enjoy it. You can find it linked down below. No worries if it's not for you. I'm going to create as much free content as possible on this channel to help you succeed in not only making great films with AI, but making a great business filmmaking with AI. Now, with all this said, I'd love your questions. Leave them down in the comments below. I'll answer them all. This was a quick podcast as I'm walking my dog. Days are quite busy. Creatorwood land is growing fast. There's lots of things going on. And I didn't want to use anything as an excuse to not get out there and share insights with you. So I did it on my walk today. I wanted to share this podcast episode with you about what to do if you have $1 million movie idea. One last thing I'll share is that if you want to, have our team help you go through this pilot process with you, this is what we have our VIP production and screenwriting service for. If you just have an idea and not a show script or movie script yet, for just $1,000, we can actually take that script or idea and then use AI to actually make the blueprint of a script, the concept for your film, and the market that will actually make your film for you. So for just $1,000, $2,000, you can actually have our team test something out in the market for you and get something going. And if you want to make a full-length film, you can typically do that for less than $10,000. And that's having our team do it, full stop for you, literally hands off. You just give us your story and we handle the rest. Pretty remarkable. Now, if you don't want to do that, our self-service, using the AI platform, Creatorwood yourself, and using the movie machine to create stories and make films is available. And the only thing I'll say on that is there's so much possible in self-service, and it can be a lot cheaper than having us do it for you because it's only $20 per minute of produced film. But that's the key. $20 per minute of produced film versus finished film is a very big difference. So you're getting this guarantee that even if we're regenerating, we're doing it for you at a really good cost. Whereas it's possible that if you are not using the tool right, that you could spend more money on your own than actually hiring one of our AI directors in our upcoming marketplace to do it for you. And if you're wondering this upcoming marketplace, yes, we're actually creating a marketplace where anyone can hire AI directors, AI screenwriters, and more to use the movie machine to help them make AI films. Essentially, the new industry of AI filmmaking is going to be centered on the marketplace that we're building. And of course, the software, the movie machine that powers this all. So we're super excited for all of this coming. We have plenty more changes to announce on the platform: speed mode, support for vertical movies and shows, and creation of vertical movies and shows, the official launch of the teasers and trailers feature, which will allow you to easier market your shows, easier create clips for social media. All this stuff is literally coming in the next couple weeks, many of it's going to be out by the time this video launches. So some really exciting stuff. Really, really grateful for you all. If you have any questions about our services, about what we do at Creatorwood, about how we can help you, feel free to reach out to us at hello@creatorwood.tv. I'm always here. The team's always here to support you. And I'm just really grateful for you watching this video to the end. I hope you learned something. I know I talk fast. I know I'm a little crazy. I've got a lot of ideas and I'm trying to distill it in some frameworks that'll make sense and that'll be great to get started on, but not too much where it's overwhelming. So if I overwhelmed you, again, please comment down below. I'm happy to help. And as always, don't forget, storytellers rule the world.